Okay, Lucas. My point here, and what I'm trying to say, is with privatization of schools, what you end up doing is making sure that standards go up. A private school cannot afford to have students who sit here and waste time in class doing absolutely fucking nothing. What privatization of schools does is it makes the parents actually care about how their students do. It makes them care about what goes on in the school. What you have with privatization of schools is, there's the whole No Child Left Behind thing that Bush decided to put in place, essentially putting in very vague guidelines saying students must do so and all students must do it. The problem with public schools is that you force everyone to go into them. That doesn't work. You can look right at Valparaiso High School and see it doesn't work. Look at the number of druggies in our school and say, no, we don't have a problem with public schools being too underfunded and too strained because there are so many idiots in the school system who are just like, oh, I'm going to sit and do drugs all day while I let so many people fail their classes because of me, because I'm going to go get in trouble, and I'm going to disrupt the class, and I'm going to make sure that no one else can learn. With privatization of schools, you get to kick those people out of your schools. You don't have to worry about the people who don't care enough about their own lives to actually go to school. You get to tell those people, we don't need you, you're not going to help benefit society, get out. By using privatization of schools, you actually are going back to true capitalism. By making the public invest in their schools, not through taxes, through actual investments, through buying. You turn a school into a business. And it works. It really works. You don't have to worry about people being concerned about, where are my taxpayer dollars going? Are they going to a football field that I didn't want, that most of this town didn't want? If we were to take the example of Valparaiso High School and turn it into a private school, and you made the parents who are investing direct money for their children to go to school with, you find that the quality of education rises. The number of dropouts is going to spike for a minute, while all the stupid kids leave. Eventually, hopefully, they'll realize, hey, I'm making a mistake with my life and I'm going to die soon, or I'm going to end up on a corner selling my own body. But the point is, you turn this school into a private school, you end up bringing up the quality of education, and you end up losing a lot of the stupid wastes that public schools have due to things like giant jumbotron screens that we really don't need. And you also get rid of the kind of corrupt people that are in school systems these days. You get rid of the people who don't know what they're teaching. You get rid of the people who don't know how they're supposed to administrate a school building. Because the parents of the students who go to this school are paying for their students to go into here. And they are paying for a good quality of education. They're not paying for, oh, hey, let's put random shit in this school that we don't need. It's a school. It's a place for education. Keep education high. That's what you do when you get private schools. Yes, there can be teams. There can be all that kind of fun stuff. If that's what the parents of these students want. You don't end up with $3.2 million misquoted. You don't end up with that stuff because if that were to happen, that's people's personal money gone. Do you see where I'm coming from on my point here? If not, fine, ignore this, go ahead. But Ron Paul has a good good plan to privatize schools. Now, where you're getting this whole specialization thing, I'm pretty sure you're accidentally mixing up vocational schools with private schools. A vocational school would be one where you go and specialize in whatever core subjects they're giving. If you're going for welding, you go to a vocational school for welding. You don't go to a private school for welding. You go to a private school if you want your son or daughter to actually learn, to actually pay attention in class, because they realize they're wasting your money otherwise. Because they realize they're either going to have to start paying you back or drop out and not have a real life. Privatization of schools has no direct correlation to specialization in schools. Curriculums would still have a basic standard they would have to keep up to. There would be certain core things that the school has to teach. Now, that's not to say there wouldn't be other things that would be taught, but it's not like a school is just going to say, hey, Holocaust never happened. Nope, we don't know what you're talking about. That could not happen. There are certain amounts of rules that must be in place, yes. But you can still have a private school with state laws. Again, imagine privatization of schools as turning a school into a business. You don't go to a business just to goof off. You go to a business for a specific purpose, which is, in this case, to learn. You go to a private high school to learn your high school curriculum. You go to a private elementary school to learn your elementary curriculum. Do you see where I'm coming from? Essentially, it's the same setup as any college in America. It's essentially just taking the college aspect of paying for your education and turning it to the high school and elementary levels. That's all it is. Do you understand what I mean? If not, your loss. But do me a favor and at least think about what I've said.